All right, welcome everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type number one in the chat box. Let me know that you can. I greatly appreciate it. All right, there we go. I was getting a little worried. I hadn't seen any ones yet. There we go. Excellent. Great to see so many of you in here today. Welcome, 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 one and all. As we do get started, keep in mind everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. All right, let's see what we got here. Lots of ones. Hey, Jim. Helen, good morning. Afternoon, Kevin. As my wife told me how many days till Christmas lately. Not lately, Jim. Not lately. But there are TikTok videos popping up with it regularly, so that's interesting. All right. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to go through our follow us page. We'll go through today's trades. Then we've got economic reports, market review, upcoming future trainings, this week's weekly topic, and your stocks and review. So basically, it's looking at your stocks, candidates that you've got that you'd like me to take a look at before we end the day. We are probably going to finish a few minutes early today. I have another meeting to get ready for right at 1. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to do that today at the end. So, all right. So here's our follow us page. If you're not following along with the various social platforms, guys, I'll give you an example. We just did last week. Sean and I shot 3 YouTube videos. I think it was 3 YouTube videos. We shot probably 12 to 15 short form videos, so TikTok, Instagram type videos. And then we did 3 explainer videos, which are going to go on the Reels or TikTok type platforms of covered calls and so forth, where it's me standing in front of the monitor in our office and doing the explainer video on them. We've got our trading post comes out, which is our newsletter, comes out every single trading day. My team puts that together. It's the top news of what's going out on trading opportunities right now, each and every trading day. So that gets out before the market opens. So there's a lot happening out there. So make sure you follow along with the various platforms that we've got out there. If you're not in Trade with Rob, it's a free service. We're up, I think, $16,000 this year on one contract trades. And we only take very specific setups, and that's it. We've passed on 2 or 3 times more trades than we've actually taken for the year. Oh, good. I'm going to ask that question a little bit, Jim. So I'm glad to hear that. Today's trade. So what candidates or what companies, what trades did you guys do today? Now, it doesn't have to per se be today. It could have been trades that you did on Friday, something that you did last week. Maybe you're still in, or you wound out of a few trades at the end of the week. You didn't do anything yet today. Let me know what you guys have actually done. So Trip said, good morning in the lab today. 2 scalps on AMD for 22.7% in 3 minutes and NVIDIA for 16.2% in 7 minutes. Woo! Smoking. So, guys, here's the thing. What Trip is talking about is in our trading lab, which is Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, part of our inner circle, which is open to everybody this week. If you are interested in going to that trading lab for free, you don't need a credit card. You just need to tell us yes. We gotta know where to send the invite to. Tell us yes, and we'll get you set up. This is Mastermind Week. So anything that's Mastermind Group related, which is Tuesday night, tomorrow, anything that is Trading You related, I think is Thursday night, and anything that's Inner Circle related, Monday, Tuesday, Friday morning, 9 to 11 a.m., and Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. And these are all Eastern times. So if anybody was there at the live training today, I know Amelia told me it was packed, standing room only, in that live training room today. Let me know what you thought. Yeah, Will is in our inner circle. He said it was fun having everybody there. Our Trading News Wednesday trip, I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. So how did you like it, Jim? What did you think? You said very interesting. You attended this morning. What did you think? Jim said Tuesday I noticed that the daily SPY candle bouncing off the 34 AMA bought the a Friday call, closed it for 102% return, $1,166 profit. Really nice. Great job there, Jim. I'm glad you called it last week on that 34. Will got in the trading room today, guys. Right? Will's in trading room. AMD. I'm assuming it was in the trading room. He did it, Will, but $200, 16% on AMD, and these are fast trades, so that would have been in and out this morning. Um, Jeff said no trade. And sorry, not no. NQ trades total $158, 3 minutes, three trades. Good morning. There you go. Absolutely love it. Um, Arnold said it was great, even though I was late. There you go. I know I spoke to Amelia briefly. She said you guys went through the anatomy of a trade. I love that segment of it. I think that's great where you kind of break the trade down, good, bad, or indifferent. Um, Jim said, I saw Toss, Think or Swim for the first time. I like the view. Yeah, it's a good platform, Jim. Listen, I said it over and over again. If I was starting today, Toss is who I would start with. Toss is the platform I would start with, right? And for those of you that are joining us from our YouTube, our live on YouTube, and then through Tradiers Hub, welcome. You guys have questions from YouTube or through the hub, you can go ahead and message those. My team is monitoring that chat and they'll send them forward and we'll answer those as well. For me today, it was two trades, a little more aggressive than I normally take, but I was in a damn good mood today, so took them anyway. If we go and look, first one was on Broadcom. I don't have check mark next to Oracle. I should do that. So Broadcom, if you watch what was going on with Broadcom last week, they had this massive gap up on their earnings, right? Great move, pull back. Today they broke out. They ran above the 345.75. So if you are a member, and it's free, of Trade with Rob, and if you're not, go to tradewithrob.com, sign up for it. You'll get an email that says the video is out. You'll also get a list of all the candidates that we put out for Trade with Rob in that email, along with the charts that show you where the Fibonacci's are for each of the candidates that were selected. So there's different trainings that I have done that are housed in the members area of Trade with Rob. One of them is the standard switchback trade, which is over an hour long on how to do that trade. I mean, that's how in-depth I go into that trade, the trade setup that we trade there. Then we had all of this volatility taking place for a month or so, and things were gapping all over the place, up one day, down the next, and it was very difficult to get our hands on trades. So I came up with a new training that I did, something I had already been working on, a strategy for this, because I'm running into the same scenario, called a high volatility switchback trade. You get a big gap up or down. How do we handle it? So, and it's a very short video because I don't go over the switchback trade. I just go over that entry component of the trade. And basically here we had gapped up and we broke out of that 345.75, right? So what did the breakout look like this morning on the 345.75? It was damn quick. We broke out, ultimately came back and retested it on a 5-minute candle at 11.25. A little bit late for me on 11.25, but we broke out on a 1-minute candle. The second candle closed above. Now that support is at 345.75. My high, not high, but my close here was 347.62. We closed $2 above, two and change above. And then we pulled back the next 1-minute candle and we bounced, and that was the entry in the trade. 340 calls were about 10 and a half. And then we followed them up until we got some loss of momentum in there and got out of about 15.20 on that position. So overall, not a bad setup on Broadcom, right? For today. It's not quite $5, a little bit less than $5 there. But, I just recorded a video, which some of you will see shortly. You'll get it in an email. But I recorded a video on why traders fail. And we talked about risk and some of that in there. And this falls perfectly into what I was talking about, right? I did not do a lot. This was a one contract trade, aggressive, right? One contract trade, but a great setup. Oracle, which we need to go to a daily chart first to see if it lets me. There we go. Right? So Oracle was right here. So by the way, that was on Broadcom, that was an aggressive entry. Why? We had that switchback, that high volatility switchback trade, basically. That type of an entry. Not a switchback per se, but that type of an entry. We look at Oracle. We closed here, opened here. Well, great. We stretched back down, right? Did I think that this was an overreaction and we were going to fail again and go back to where we were? I did not. So as we came back and pulled into the 21 moving average, I wanted to see if we got some settling going on in there, right? So I look at the 5 minute was okay, but when I go into the one, you can see today we gapped up. This was the fib line that we broke, closed above, fell right down to it. Look at this right here, guys. This green line is the 21 moving average. We closed on this candle. Well, let's go back to it. We closed on this candle at 236 even. We're at 235.67. We're talking 33 cents away from that fib line, which is where we closed, and the next candle stretched right into it, and it bounced. That's the entry or the trigger to say look for an entry. The entry didn't come until the next candle, which was about 9:41. Right? That's where the entry came in on this candle. I'm still in this one. This was the 230s. We were under $15. I think it was $14.90. I can't even read my own chicken scratch. I think it was $14.90, but under $15 for the option. Overall doing well. I want to see how it does after lunch. They've got earnings coming up shortly, 2 days or something, or today. Maybe it's today, but it's soon, I think. It's soon. I think earnings are pushing a little bit into it, but fantastic, right? Did absolutely outstanding. Let's see. Dennis said, is Tasty Trade a bad choice for trading company to use for day trading? It's not that they're a bad choice. I have an account with them. I like them. I like their platform. I don't know if they've ever fixed it. And Dennis, this would be something to check into. Can I? Because I couldn't do this before. I placed 6 trades, and when I go to set my exits, I had 6 open positions. I go to set my exits, I couldn't set them the way I was told I could. I was told that you could set the exit based on the stock price. At that time, you could not. It may have changed. I don't know. I took the money out of the account, but the account is still an active account. And I put it into my TradeStation account. So you could find that out. If they do that, I think it's a great platform. But I will tell you that some of the majors that I know that use it are still using TOS for their charting, and they're using Tasty for their entries. Right? So it's not that it's a bad one. Let's see. Yeah, Trip said I looked at Avago for the scalp this morning and the bid-ask spread was big. It did have a larger bid. That's where I went with one contract on it for that exact reason. Okay, Andrew dropped in a trade with Rob, and Trip said Oracle tomorrow after the market. I thought it was tomorrow, and he added that it's after market, which is great, right? If we look, guys, let's share it. Let me share this with you. Let me find where this is. I don't know why I can't see this here. Okay, there we go. So let me go into trade with Rob. Okay. Now, these are not home run trades. None of them ever will be. All right. So let me make it full screen just so it's easier to see. So you can see we're going to go back, and the first trade was on January 3rd. Okay. I've stopped color coding the symbols for what days they were for or what weeks they were for. You can see the last ones we did 9393. On this one, we made $90. On this one, we made $7.20. That's the lowest we've had on any trade we've done. Caterpillar was $979, 324, 385, 129, 68. Down here, it shows for this year on one contract, and these are free alerts on one contract. We're up $16,130 on these 54 trades in total. 54 wins, 7 went against us. So that's a total of 61 trades, right? 88% win rate of the ones that fill, not of all of them. Because guys, we've only taken 61 trades and we're up to line 198. Take the top 3 lines out, 195. So if we're up to 195, call it we're up to 200 and we did 50, we only took 25% of the trades that were listed. Why? Because things don't work. They don't gap away, or they do gap away, rather. They don't move away. They flutter. It doesn't always pan out, right, on any trade. 7 that were trades that went against us. 0 were losers. This is the most important one to me. 61 trades overall, winners and losers, $264.43 on average. I'm shooting for $250 per trade is my average there, so I'm slightly above it right now. We'll drop down a little bit down below 240 or to 240, down to $240 per trade, and we'll get back up to 260, 270. But 250 is the number that I'm shooting for on these trades. This is one contract. So if you look at this and say, I get that $7 didn't make anything, but you know what? If I knew it was only going to do $7, I wouldn't have done the trade. But I don't know that. $90, okay, smaller amount, 979, that's a big one, right? This is high, So look, $216. We'll go with PLTR, Peloton, right? Peloton. And 260, well, Rob, it's $216, not that much. May not be for you. Do 2 contracts. That's $400. Still, do do 5 contracts, or do 4 contracts, for 5 contracts, $1,000. Can't tell me 1,000 is not a good number. Yeah, but I'm looking for more. Do 10. I'm showing you can do this with just one, right? That's the key here, is just one contract. I'm a big fan of JOT, J-O-T, just one trade. You don't need hundreds or thousands of trades to make it in the market. You absolutely do not. Okay? You need just one trade. And many of you have heard me say it at the end of our videos, you're just one trade away. And that's all you are, is one trade away from making it. Right? One trade away from your strategy shifting to profit from losing. One strategy away, or one trade away from your mindset getting in the right place. One trade away from tracking things properly. One trade away from the last tweak that has to be made in your system. Right? And that's what continue education, that's what showing up to these trainings are, showing up in Trading Coach's Playbook. It's all about that. Right? It's what it's all about, is to getting you to follow through on these various techniques. Okay. All right. So let's go back into our presentation and let's go take a look at our economic reports for today. Now, we don't have a lot this week. We've got important reports, but not a lot that are, not a lot of reports. PPI, these are the same report, basically. It's before the market, unless you're Jeff and you're trading futures. It doesn't matter if you're trading pre-market, yes. But the market's going to react to this when the market opens, right? And this is on Wednesday. We've got nothing Monday and Tuesday, right? On Thursday, all 8:30. Yeah, they're all important reports. They're all Fed reports. So they're important to the Fed, without a doubt. 10 o'clock on Friday, both of these consumer sentiment, right? And inflation expectations. They're big reports. You've got to focus on this. If you're in a trade that you took before that announcement comes out and you didn't know about it, that announcement could drive the market one way or another. Could be good for you, could be really bad. Either one, right? So you want to know they're out there. Next week is a whole different ball of wax. FOMC, all the Fed stuff, right? 2 o'clock, 2:30 next week on Wednesday, right? Where we are at a very high probability right now. The last I looked, it was 87% chance that we're going to have a 1/4 drop in the markets. So there's a really good chance of it. I saw Waller talking on a news program over the weekend. He's one of the Fed presidents, talking over the weekend of he's voting for a cut. So, and Waller's voice carries a little bit of weight to it. So, I think we're going to see that cut take place. And if you listen to some of the gurus, they're talking about 1 full point by the end of the year. I don't agree with that, because there's only 3 meetings left, including the September one. September, October, December, I think it is. I don't see us dropping a half point along the way somewhere. And if we do, I think it's going to show panic into the market of, oh crap, we're in trouble. Tripp said 88.4% for a 25 basis point, which is a 1/4 point cut right now. Jim said FOMC per the CME group next week, 90.5% chance of 1/4 point drop, 9.5% of a half point drop. Yeah, so very little for half point. But it is out there. Now, could something come awry and we get a half point? Yes. And if we're going to get one, I'd rather see one up front. Maybe. But I just don't see that we're going to get it right. I think Powell is going to bide his time, lower away until his position is no longer available. He's gone, and there's a new Fed chair in there. Although I do feel that confirmation for a new Fed chair is going to take a little bit of time to get the right person in place. Hey, Brenda, glad you made it. Okay, let's go back into our presentation, and let's go take a look at the market and see what it's doing. So we look at the S&P. 500, and Friday, glass ceiling smashed. We broke through that 3 levels of sheetrock, that 3 layers of sheetrock on the ceiling. We broke up, head right through there, gapped up, little bitty peak to the high, and then we failed at the end of the day. Didn't close anywhere near the high of the week, but we got back underneath all those fib lines, which are still a critical resistance level, right? We popped back down to below it, and we've got the 650440, which is the fib line itself. It is our negative 618. From there, we've got this 651167, which is part of an ABC pattern that comes off of what will be, if I'm redrawing fibs, what will be my new fib more than likely, from this swing low, which is on, if you want to measure it out, 623, to the swing high of 731, and the pullback to 81. Not much of a pullback, but it's not like I get a choice. It's the pullback I was given. It's the pullback we got to work with, right? And then it extrapolates 3 lines out, a 236, a 618, and a 1. The 236 I took off. It didn't match up with any other lines. The 618 is right here, came right over near that 6550 at 6511. And then there's a tiny little blue line in there at 650823, which was the all-time high before we broke it on Friday, right? So each one of those, consider one piece of sheetrock on the ceiling, right? Is it easy to break through one piece of sheetrock? Well, it's still hard. Bang your head on it's going to hurt a little bit. But hit it 2 or 3 times, you could break through one piece of sheetrock. You put 3 pieces of sheetrock backed up on top of each other and start banging your head on it, it's hard as hell to get through that sheetrock. I'm not saying you can't get through it, but it's just harder to do. And this little breakthrough, I like that. That's chipping away at the ice, right? We basically, the bull said, if you want to push, you can, but listen, and for all of our sakes, to me, the best thing that can happen is we float around here for the next couple of days. You can punch up a little bit with a wick and come back, come down even a little bit, come back up. Let the 8 moving average move up. Get back into that area and now break out, retest, and bounce. And I think you'll see that breakout happen with a vengeance when it comes to volume. I think you'll see a volume spike on it there. I think traders are waiting for that. But let's get the 8 up there. Now, that's a perfect world. If we don't get the 8 up there, if it just happens tomorrow, we break out, retest, and bounce, I'm going to take the trade, right? But keep in mind, it still may be more aggressive without the 8 there. So either cut back on contracts, tighten up stops, be prepared that it may go against you, and you got to be willing to pull the trigger and say, uncle, right? Hit the uncle factor. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, so Jim said the FOMC is September, October, December. Yep. 9/17, 10/29, and 12/10. Yep. So, but with holidays, the 12/10 is a little bit early, always. All right, let's take that down. But I do like where we're at. Okay, when we look at a little bit longer term on the S&P, let's go to a weekly. Right now, I need a new place to draw from. I don't have a V-top to draw off of yet. I showed this somewhere last week. I don't remember where it was. If I go here to here, this pullback, I didn't pull back enough. It's not there. So this is not the place, right? That was 1 week where we were down, we gapped up, and we've run ever since for the last 4 or 5 weeks. But on a weekly chart, we're still okay. Is this a better place to draw from? Yes. We just, again, don't have a V-top yet. So we're waiting for it to settle in. A couple of weeks sideways, we've had a little bit of a pullback towards the 0 line. Gives me everything I need to be able to redraw. But I like the weekly chart. If you're looking at that slightly longer time frame, I love the ability to look at this bigger picture, slightly bigger picture than a daily, and say, all right, overall, we're bullish. Why are we backing away from this thing? And if we go to monthly, my God, I mean, yeah, we had 3 months, right? This was a shaky month here. This was a bad month. This one was really freaking insane, right? How far we had stretched down, 20% pullback, all that fun stuff, right? Whatever it was. And then we bounced, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this week included, 5th week, we're up. We're showing all-time highs. Life is good, right? Or this month, rather. Life is good, okay? On the bigger picture. So nothing's scaring me on the market. at all. We look at VIX. Let's go back to a daily chart though, not a weekly. I love how it moves everything around. There we go. Let's go to VIX. Okay. So VIX right now, I mean, we're up 6 cents. There's nothing. There's no real value, no change in there at all, right? Nothing to be concerned with. So we're up 6 cents when the market is up 13. What is that telling us? Well, the VIX normally goes down when the market goes up, right? So why is the VIX going up? Well, it's going up slightly. So a little bit of rebalancing, right? Maybe slightly off. Friday's movement maybe was too much, too wide of a reaction, overreaction, whatever it was. So it's just kind of settling out. It's kind of like, look at fair value of the S&P. For those of you that are not familiar with it, you'll hear it on CNBC all the time. The fair value is $2. So that means that the plus $2. It means when they did all the analysis based on the individual stocks, not the S&P index, the S&P should have closed $2 higher than it did. That was the fair value, which has no value any longer today because the market's up or down in pre-market. So it's already taken that into account. But it does show that you were off, right? So it's kind of that. It's kind of the fair valuing of what's going on in the VIX. It's just adjusting, slightly fixing. Good job, Brenda. $10,500 on the 4th with SPY. Nice job. Really nice job. We've had, when we look at, I'm just going to go with one contract trades. Look at one contract trades. These are, the last week or so, 2 weeks, whatever it is. You just look for, I don't want to go all of August. It's too much, right? But here, so Meta, we're up 1,000, we're up 400, we're up 800. These are one contracts. Netflix, Broadcom, Booking, 4,000 for one. These are all one contracts. Forget about don't look at this column. Just look at what we were stopped out of. It's just the way the spreadsheet was originally built. I've just never redone it. Did we have ones go against us? Yes. If you take out the best trade, that was $4,000, right? You take out the worst trade, it was $360, call it, right? Take those out of the equation. Where are we looking like average? If we take all of these right here, actually, let's not even do that. Let's get all of August, just to make it easier. Or more fair. How about that? August, right? So right here. Well, let me do this. All right. So then let's do sound. Don't make fun of my Excel language. It's just how I roll. So that's $19,200, $800 in the month of August, right? These are one contract trades, mind you. These are not our full trades. These are one contract, right? So if we take that, I don't know, what's our numbers? Let's go here. 282 lines minus 244. Oh, it didn't work. Let's try it again. 282, 244, gives us 38 trades. So we take this number right here, this divided by 38, that's $521.78 per trade, right? That's our average trade, one contract trade on power option plays, right? More than double what we shoot for in Trade with Rob, okay? So how did we do overall? Did we have some ones that went against us? Yes, without a doubt. Again, if you take out the biggest winner and the biggest loser was $530. So take this one out, right? Biggest winner without doubt was the Booking one. You take that out of the equation, right? And just analyze everything else. So you're getting rid of the extremes, right? The big loss, the big hit, and the big win. You take that out. Did we do okay overall on this? We did phenomenal. It probably drops us down to 450, 440 a trade, something like that, by taking those out. And even with that, one, two, three, four, five, six trades run against us out of 38. All right. So it's a process, is all it is. Right. So good job on SPY there, Brenda. Oh, good catch, Jim. Yeah, you're right. I got all the September ones in there too. I didn't realize that. Good catch. I'm not going to redo it. You get the idea. You get the idea. You can take those out. There's probably better for us. We had a couple of losers in there in September. In Pop, we do the analysis of the different months as well in there. So fantastic. Good. All right, let's go back into presentation. I know we've got a lot more people here now than when we first got started. So was anybody else in the Inner Circle trading room this morning? If so, what were your thoughts? What did you see? Was it something that you picked something up from, you learned from, again, the anatomy of the trade that we did in there? And if you're not registered for them, you definitely want to make sure you get into tomorrow's and or Fridays. If you can't make all of them, you definitely want to get into tomorrow or Fridays. All right, just make sure I didn't miss anything on the notes. Yeah, I'm not going to save the sheet, Jim. So it won't keep anything anyway. So it'll be good. Thank you though. So Inner Circle check-in is tonight, and that is all part of the Mastermind week that you can register for that Mastermind group in there. Trip is teaching tonight. That is 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And then our monthly is September 17th. Mastermind group is that was Inner Circle. Mastermind group is on September 9th, which is mañana. Tomorrow I am teaching that. That is 8 to 9 Eastern. Next one is the 16th. Trading You is September 10th, which is Wednesday. I am teaching that. That's 8 to 9. Trader Super Summit on the 19th. Anybody that is a member of Inner Circle and Mastermind Group are invited to Trader Super Summit. This year we are extending it, opening it up to anybody that is in as part of our Mastermind Week. Anybody that is in Trading You will get to come to a full 1-day live Trader Super Summit. It's online. It says 9 a.m., but it's not. It's 10 a.m. that we're going to start. So, Andrew, we need to make that adjustment. We need to make sure our emails are correct as well. So let the team know. We're starting at 10 a.m. On that. Monster Market Moves is next week. Power option plays, covered call, explore, E-mini are on regular schedule. And then we've got free online workshops, Power Hour and Trading Coaches Playbook. Now, of course, we're here today. Trading Coaches Playbook this Friday. Andrew, drop a link in for Trading Coaches Playbook. If you're not registered for this particular one, if you don't go to them, you want to go to this one. I am teaching this one. Amelia's going to be in there. I think Trip is going to be in there. We're going to have some of the members from Inner Circle in there. We're going to use it as a round robin where you can ask questions about any of the trainings or anything we do in Mastermind or anything when it pertains to trading. But this is kind of the wrap up of our Mastermind week. You will have just been in the last of the week's trainings, which will be Friday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And then at 12 o'clock, we get right into the Trading Coaches Playbook. So Inner Circle is Monday. Inner Circle Trading Lab is Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Inner Circle check-in is tonight at 7 p.m. Mastermind, September 9th, 8 p.m. September 10th is Trading You. And then Inner Circle and Trading Coaches Playbook are both on Friday. So, guys, listen, we've got hundreds. Amelia calls me the other day and goes, yeah, I need to put some things together because we have got a really large group already scheduled for the first mastermind, which was this morning from the Inner Circle group. And we've got hundreds and hundreds of people that are registered. So through the mastermind week. Now, not everybody can make every day, and we understand that, right? You have a job or other functions that will prevent you from getting there. You're in a trade, you don't want to get out of it, so you can watch what's going on in the trading room. That's fine. But definitely try to get into as much of this as possible. We've never done it before. Don't know if we do it again, we would do it once a year, if anything. Then it said, how do I get into the Inner Circle Trading Lab? So that you should see the link just above, well, right recently, Dennis, that Andrew put out there for, it says free.wealthbuildershq.com/mastermind-week. Right? Click on that link. You could also go into the members area and you'll see a banner that's scrolling. Click on that and register for it. And you'll get you'll be registered, I believe, for everything automatically. Whether you go or not, you're registered in case you want to. You'll get notifications of them for all of them. Roman said, I took a break from the market for a week. We'll be back in the room tomorrow morning. Excellent. Good. No, look, Roman, we need that, right? We need that downtime. We need that rest and relaxation. I get it. I absolutely get it. Um, Sometimes when Friday comes, it's this wave of relief that it's finally over. Oh, good. Woo! I get to take it easy. You focus, you're tracking numbers. It's no different than why, trading you, I'm sorry, Trader Super Summit is 10 to 4. That's 6 hours in one day that I'm teaching online and 6 hours that you're learning online. That is a massively long time, right? From 10 to 4. That's why we're not doing 9. It's just too long. If we did it live, we would start at 9 o'clock, live on location. It's different. You get up, you walk, you're engaged with other people in the room, you're answering questions, you're in breakout groups, right? We'll probably still do some breakouts in here. Jim said, yes, registered for everything when filling out the Mastermind Week form. Good, Jim. That's what I thought. All right, let's go back into the manual. So, guys, Mastermind Week, again, it says your next steps to trading success starts here. Book your free one-on-one trading strategy call with a Wealth Builders HQ trading coach. So let me just stop right there. I'm the coach you're booking with. I'm it. Okay? But here's what I'm going to tell you. Please, please, if you are booking that call, show up. Right? I've had some that don't show. We reach out, we call, we email, we don't even get a response back of anything. And I understand things happen. If you know it's going to happen, or, oh God, I can't make it any longer, make the change. Make the change. Get in there. There's a change button, change the date, cancel the one, book a new one, or just cancel if you can't. But my time slots are very limited. I've cleared everything off my calendar. Everything that I normally do, Pop is off my calendar. Trade with Rob is off my calendar, so it doesn't block time out. So there's more time slots available for people to book. If you do show up to that training, we are giving you our AI trading plan generator for free. Right? And we've sold quite a few of these at $37 in one of our programs that we have. You're going to get this. It's one that I've developed. A lot of hard work went into putting this together. You don't need any AI to do it. It's using my AI to do it. It's using one of my AI platforms is where it's generated from. You just have to answer all the questions. It's going to spit out for you a finished trading plan that you can start working with, right? Which is part of the problem that people run into with trading is they don't have a plan. There's no recordings of anything, Brenda. I mean, are they recorded? Yes, but they're not recorded where anybody has access to them. They're only recorded for those that are actual members of those mastermind groups, right? Because all we're giving access to is the live trainings, not to the back end. It's just what's in the live trainings, right? But these live trainings are thousands and thousands of dollars of value that you're getting for free. So, all right. Weekly training topic. Da, 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 da. What it takes to master your trading. A very interesting word is in this week's master your trading when we're talking Mastermind Week. So I get asked the question at a live training all the time. What's the best trading strategy for me to make money with? There is no best trading strategy. What's the number one thing that I have to do? Yeah, there are things you can do, but there's not one thing that says you are now successful because you're doing this one thing. It doesn't work that way. What it really comes down to is 4 simple letters. Plan. Right? You need an overall plan, right? And what do I mean by that? Your plan is not just, I'm going to buy calls. I'm going to buy puts. Okay, that's the strategy you're using today. How are you buying them? Well, when it goes up, what made it go up? The news. Okay, what news? You see where I'm going with this? You need the detail behind that. You should break it down in this way. Your plan should consist of a general trading plan. That's going to be the markets that you trade, the risk profile that you're willing to take, how you're adjusting or setting stops, things like that are part of your general trading plan. How much money are you willing to risk in a trade and so forth, or even put into a trade before that. Once you've got that part of the trading plan done, now it becomes a systematic approach to four words: identify, enter, manage, exit. What is it going to take for you to identify a candidate that goes on your list? Once you find that candidate, what's the entry rules? Right? If we look at any symbol, it doesn't matter. Coinbase. Coinbase. Yeah, let's not use Coinbase. Only because it's yuck right now. Okay, so where we're sitting right now on Costco, right? Where we're sitting right now on Costco, right? What is this telling me? Okay. We're in neutral right now. So what does it take for me to take a trade on this? I need to either break this 952, retest and fail, or I need to break the 973, retest and bounce for me to take a trade. See what I just did there? I've got a plan. There is no, well, let's see what it does now. So tomorrow we look at it and there's a candle here, and now we go all over. So what do I want to do? So no, I already know what to do. I already know. I've got alarm set just below, I'm sorry, just above the 952 and just below the 973. I have alarm set on there on TradeStation. If we trigger one of those levels, I'm getting an email message. I'm getting pop-ups on my screen that said Costco just did this. Why did I do it here? Because my rule is I want to my drawing tools. My alarm is going to be here, let's say. But why would you want that, Rob? You want to break out, retest, and bounce. Yeah, but when it hits this, I don't want to wait for the breakout and then I start analyzing it. I don't want it to be, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what am I doing? Now, this kind of prepared me. All right, it just broke out or just got near. So reset my focus. What am I looking for? We're near that resistance line. Break, retest, bounce. We get $1.50 above, $3 above, $9 above, whatever your number is, trade taken. Right? Once I'm entering the trade, now what? Identify, enter, manage. How are we managing it? Where are my stops being set? Where are my targets being set? Am I going to scale out of the trade at a certain point, a midpoint, let's say, just to take half the trade off? Am I scaling out in a 4-3-2-1 and the 2-1-1, and 50%, 5 contracts and then another 5? How do I manage the position? And then the last one is the exit. What's my ultimate exit in that trade? How am I exiting out of that position? In other words, it's over. The trade is done now. What is my final yank on that? There's not a lot of programs on TV that are trading programs. There used to be an options guy that came on many, many years ago that it was almost like a game-like. It was gamified the way they did their options trades, right? And they would talk about what they're looking at and the plans and so forth. Haven't seen it in probably 15 years. You don't see anything like that on there. But what do I see? I see real estate programs that have the same concept. It's still an investors type market, right? And I watched one this weekend. It was kind of a short term. They were looking at one house that they bought, and the expectation of profit was $250,000, $220,000, and not an expensive house in comparison. I mean, it was a $400,000 house, but that was it hit resistance. That was perfect trade, but things happened along the way. Other things broke. They needed to repair this, that, the other. So the profit went from 220 down to 180. Did they want the 220? Yeah. Were they angry at the 220 that got missed? No. Would they have liked more money? Of course. But you can't plan on it that way, saying, well, I'm only happy if the stock gets up and hits my target. No. We move up, we move up. Let's say that it didn't hit your target, and just say the target is, let me just get my mouse up that line so it's visible. So let's say my good till cancel here, my GTC is 990, just to make a number, okay? And we start getting up there and we get to 988, and then all of a sudden I start seeing this happening in there. Right? Are you okay saying, you know what, we're at 988, 990 is what I wanted. I'm going to pull the trigger, or I'm going to tighten my stop really tight on this, that if it does wiggle down, I'm out of the trade. Is that okay? Yes, that goes back to part of that management and finally that exit of that trade. But when you look at the trade, you've got to have all these things in your head. If you do something at your job that is multifaceted, meaning if you're any kind of mechanic, any kind of repair company, you fix washers, TVs, refrigerators, cars, big industrial equipment, air conditioning units, My cousin's an engineer for New York City, and they do all of the heating, and he's got all these specialty degrees, so he knows the temperature settings and all that stuff, right? If you do any of that type of work, you know that it is not the same thing every time. You can't say, okay, it's brakes on a 57 Chevy that takes 14 minutes and 27 seconds. Go. And then you got one of the bolts are rusted, or they're stripped, or it's cracked, right? It broke off when you started to take it. It was frozen. And now you got to drill it out, rethread it, all that fun stuff, right? You can't look at this and say it is cookie cutter and works the exact same way every time, because it doesn't. Right? What works the exact same way every time is the process in your head. I'm looking at a target of 990, but there might be a reason I pull the trigger. What happens if I set a target of 990 and I enter this trade? I took the bounce, it broke out, retested, and bounced. I took that trade right there, and let's say that was at 9:37 a.m. And we're talking Eastern time. Right? By the time we got up here to this 988, what if it was 10:04? What if it didn't get to 988? What if it got to 985 at 10:04? Would you be okay saying, all right, we moved really fast. I got a great profit in there. Either I'm going to really tighten my stop up, or I'm just going to pull the trigger and get out of the trade and walk away. Yes, I would be fine with that. But it's a process. It's not the normal progression where we're just kind of moving along at a steady pace. We had that big move up. I'm going to take the profit early. Why? Because momentum drove price up too. So I know that if I leave it sit there and the price starts to go sideways a little bit, you're going to see price dissipate quite a bit, because all the volatility is going to start fluffing out of it. Right? I would take that walk away in a freaking heartbeat. Right? But these are the processes that you have to learn. Right? For me, I'm doing it a long time. It's funny. It was March of 97. We just passed March of 2005. I am 2 years shy, 28 years now, when I first learned how to trade the market. Right? 28 years of doing this, almost 3 full decades. And I was been in the market 90s, 2000, 10s, 20s, 4 different decade series, right? In there, 4 different sets of years of the 90s, zeros, 10s, and now 20s. I'm doing this a long time, right? I still do not have everything down pat, but I learned a system from my mentor when I first started. His name was Vaskin. Some of you have heard me tell his name before. I've mentioned his name before. What he laid out for me of what to do and how to prepare myself is what I teach everyone that comes through our masterminds. Everyone that comes through POP, I teach you the exact same type of system to do. You've got no choice. Right? In my opinion, you need a system. It doesn't have to be mine, but you need a system. You can't be successful at McDonald's with having a recipe in your head and hope that everybody in the company remembers the same recipe, because they won't. They won't. Right? I've seen that on the Undercover Boss show, where one of the companies, wasn't McDonald's, but one of the companies, one of the branches, we don't use the recipe cards. We add this to it instead. We add vanilla. But vanilla's not even a spice we buy from the company. Yeah, but we use it. It's really good in there. Right? And it's a different result. The person that made it might like it, but remember, Big Mac and McDonald's should taste the same in New York that it does in LA. Exactly the same. Whether you like Big Macs or not, they should taste exactly the same. Okay? So when you look at your systematic approach, for me, I'm in 2 masterminds that are stock market related, that are not wealth builders ones, that are my masterminds that I go to and I attend and I learn and I teach. And just like our masterminds, we ask people to teach inside of there, right? It just makes you a better trader. If you can teach what you do, you will be better at trading it, period. Okay? I'm a big advocate for that, for the teaching component. Tremendous advocate of it. Rick, who's one of our students in our inner circle, recently taught something, right? Rick has been with me since a student in previous company he came from, right? Rick and I have become very good friends over the years. He's still in our inner circle, group. So, but he taught, and every time you teach, you learn how to trade it better. And you don't have to teach to us at Mastermind. Teach your stuffed animals at home. I don't care. Your pet's toys. Just teach it. If you could teach it and make someone else understand it, you will understand it better, right? But I don't stop at that, guys. Anything that I do in life for me is all about Mastermind. I'm in masterminds that are related to my health. I'm in masterminds that are related to business, two different business ones. So it's 5 different masterminds in total that I'm in. Okay. Every one of them is purposeful for me, right? There's a reason I do it. It's something I'm focused on. I want to learn more about it. I want to become the best I can at it, right? When it comes to biohacking, I'm not the best out there, but damn, I'm pretty good. I can pretty much give you a solution for most things that go on out there. I know because I biohacked my own health and fixed it from so many things that I had going wrong, right? And it was all because of the masterminds that I belonged to. Tom said, tried it out, pretty cool. Can I keep adjusting my input and get upgraded results? I think you're talking about from the trades, Tom. So yeah. Tripp said, teaching has changed my trading more than I ever could have imagined for the better. Oh, you're talking about from the AI, Tom? Yes, I'm sorry. For the AI trading plan, you got to keep entering back in. We don't store it in a database anywhere. So you got to keep entering it back in, I believe. I don't think it's stored unless it's in your history, maybe. But if not, so you want to just make sure you get your output and make the adjustments to change it. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely can. All right, guys, let's go take a look at some trades. I'm going to get out of here shortly. First one that comes through is eBay. So drop in the candidates you want me to take a look at. And as we're wrapping up here, please make sure that you are going to the Mastermind Week, going to that page, register for these trainings. Guys, it's costing you nothing. It's costing you nothing, right? We have put tens of thousands of dollars into building this week out for everybody to help every one of you become better traders. Don't miss the opportunity. This is the same as joining a gym and not going, right? Make sure you show up. Make sure you're there. All right, so eBay is the very first one. $92 stock. Let's get a better look at it. I don't know why I have no fibs on here. I thought I would have on eBay. Maybe just because yeah. I don't know. Maybe I deleted it by mistake. But let's put one on. See exactly where it would go. Swing low. Swing high. We need a 100-point level in there. So let's add that. I've got a preset line that I use. We're going to make it red. We're going to make it dash dot. We're going to make it 100. Oh, cancel. What was that? Let's do that again. I think 100. Okay, there we go. All right, then we got 95 and 101, which is 6. We're at 5. We need to split this level in half, so we need to put in Fibbits. If you're unsure about how Fibbits work, what they are, go over to tradinglikeaboss.com. There's a free Fibonacci training series. It's a 3-part series there. It gets emailed to you, and 20 minutes each day is the video. And it'll go over exactly how we draw fibs, what they are, and so forth. Then it's all free. I like where this one is setting up right now. Dennis, we've got the moving averages are in a rank of 1 at that 91. We move $4 in jingle a day. So if I can get a retest of the 91, 92, I guess it is, and a bounce, which is what it's pulling back to now, probably 94, 95, 94 and 3/4 would be my target on the upside. If it breaks, this is a great switchback. If it breaks, retests, and fails, we're looking at 89 as our support level. So overall, I like this one a lot. All right. Then we've got CBS. I hope that one helped, Dennis. CBS. All right. CBS Corp. All right. There we go. I'm like, why don't we have a today candle? There it is. All right. So we're going to draw from this swing low. I'm going to go up to the swing high. Whoop. Let's get rid of that and do it again. Once you drag the line off the screen, it kind of snaps itself. Okay. So this is just a 1 candle anomaly. We gapped up and filled same day. I'm not worried about that. Okay. Good move overall. 71 to 74 is $3.50. Fibbing on this is 285. So we need to split it in half. So let's put a negative 136 and a 118. Okay. So we're sitting right now in a bullish neutral bias. I need to back above 72.64. and 74.53 is resistance. But I needed to close above there first. So get above, retest, and bounce. SPY. All right, Brenda, I love where it's at right now. This is today's candle. I love where it's at right now. Break the 649.36, retest and bounce. And this is what I'm talking about with the S&P. We come up again. Eight's climbing higher. Well, another day or two, the 8 will be at a rank of 1, and it's magnifique. 657.70 is our target on the upside. Our next target from there is 666. Great target. So with that, everybody, I'm going to wrap it up for the day. I'll leave the room open a couple of minutes. I know there are some links in there that you're going to want to grab, particularly for the Mastermind Week if you haven't already done so. Make it a profitable day, and I will see all of you at Mastermind Week. Take care, everybody. See you soon.